Okay, I'm back. Sure is dark. I don't even know what time it is, but it should not be this dark. Get all the way across. I'm trying to do big stuff with these hits. Big stuff with these hits, trying to make up for talking too much and being too tentative earlier. Sort of was squeezing that one a little bit, trying to lower it to come match this stuff better. And so now everything here is messed up. This is all scooped from the bulbs, and that was too low to start with, so we just bevel that straight down, blend it into there, and then raise all this stuff. And I'm hitting straight down, no support, because I don't want to get it all chattered up underneath here. I want a fairly clean edge as I raise it, so I can hit some more. Although I didn't leave it optimal because I'm blending it too smooth and I don't really have ridges, but depending upon your skill level and what you've done before and what you know you can do dictates whether what you leave yourself is acceptable or not. And I can drive flakes pretty good sometimes on a fairly flat surface. Unless I do that. But see, then I come back and do that. See, this is dug in and damaged right there. I'm just going to try and hit right beside it. Run my mouth too much and start making myself mess up to show me who's boss. The rock thinks it is. Of course it's wrong. That was a very thin flake with basically no ridge, but it still came down to there. I'm just trying to raise this up enough to just come on back. This is a real problem too. This has got a big bulb. I don't know who hit that. Did I do that? Maybe. Just cutting that end off. There's not much ridge here and it's not very high. And this platform stinks because it's chattered up and not isolated and weird. Fairly flat flake. Dug in right there, but when I'm that close to that edge, I do not care. That's a good result. Achieved a lot. And I'm okay with it. This one, I'm just moving that ridge over a little bit in a very ugly manner because pretty doesn't count at this stage of the game still. Some of these flakes, some of those hits, like it's like, you know, yanking the tablecloth out from under the stemware. You know, it just, if you go quick enough, but the problem is you just have to have experience with how fast, well, that tore up that edge. How fast can you take your flake and not blow up the platform? And in this case, it helps if you've got a gnarly beat up, softer than normal percussor. It helps a lot. See how much I cut off of all those little hangnails that were here from this side, remember? Just blend it into them and cut them off about the same level they were at. We're smoothing things up on this situation. That helped a lot too. That helped a lot too. I hit that one down more because of the way the edge was. It was sort of high. But it's crusty. It has hydration rind on it, is what it looks like on this side. But see how smoothly and nicely that side is becoming? Smoothly and nicely becoming? Sure. Hey, we don't worry about grammar when we're hitting rocks. The rocks come first. Those are, ancient hits. So me and that old boy are whipping this thing into shape. I think. I'm guessing. I mean, I actually have zero recollection of this rock. I think I'm starting to fade. If you see me getting smaller, I'm leaving. Okay, this is going to be tricky. See that? That's what your little finger can do for you if you cut a deal with it. Okay, little finger, I'm going to train you. You're going to be my main support. Didn't blow it up. Didn't squeeze it too hard here. Ran that flake all the way down to there, created a ridge here. If I say, hold my beer and watch this, you just got to remember that, well, he's lying about the beer, but he seems to know about the rock. Still got issues. But you know something? I think I can get a point out of this. I think I can get me a agate basin. Big old long, narrow, an agate basin Gary drill. I'm being more careful than you think. I'm letting it bounce in my hand. And I'm striking, and I got support underneath to redirect, and I'm striking at an angle that is I'm fairly carefully striking at exactly the angle I want to. It's like shooting skeet, I got kinetic skills here where it's wiggling all around in the air like this, and I'm going like this with this, and I got physics going on in my head, and there's a bunch of math happening there. It's like a NASA thing, and all of a sudden, bam, and it's like I'm like a human Patriot missile battery or something here. See what I'm talking about? I mean, that just came all the way down to here. And what are the odds of that? And it was perfectly flat, and it was thinner than a tater chip. It's like half a tater chip. I really shouldn't be using this. I'm not using a medium abrader. I just grabbed the ones that were on top, and I got like a fine one and a coarse one or two, and just one of the things, man, it don't pay to be lazy if you're going to be a napper, because, you need to just get up and get what you need and do it right instead of, you need to be sent to remedial school to unlearn everything you're getting from me. But I do hit some flakes that I like. I mean, I take a few flakes and I go, Yeah, Jerry, you know, you had your sights kind of dialed in on that one. Sure did. This is a problem, this diamond thing here. The problem mainly is to figure out how to get the best out of it without getting the worst out of it. Because it's all chewed up here and it's not a good place to, I just sort of hit like that. I mean, that wasn't bad.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi, how you
What
doing?
you making?
Nothing, I'm just making a video of me making a mess.
That's cool.
Well, I hope others think so. She went inside. Look, I was lying about that. I hope others think so, because I know y'all what y'all think of this probably. You know, just remember what you're paying for it. I shouldn't do this, but the reason I said I shouldn't do it wasn't because I couldn't do that, but that is not the best effort I could have got. I could have raised it more and got higher up and cut even lower and cut into this, because see, this tapers down, and so climbing that hill I got to lose quite a bit, because this is a damaged area with a big old blah crap in the middle of it. You know, I can come here, knock that down. That'll work, I mean. And I got to raise it back up because I got a delta there still. And as usual, I do things in a very strange manner here. I raised it up some, but I still got the delta, but I feel like I can put my finger on there and hit it hard and quickly and damage it internally without taking a flake, and then get the flake after that. So this is definitely open cockpit flying here. No seatbelt, upside down. Using your knees a lot. Or something like that. This isn't right either. That's flat or concave. And this is Cortex, so that the chances of that breaking right there are really high, so I only hit it almost straight in. That was just skimming it, but look how that little skimmer went. I mean, that thing was just thin as it can be, and it ran to there. I mean, just a thin little flake. That flake needed a cheeseburger. Tell me that kind of stuff never jumps into your head. Did I cut myself? No. Well, maybe a tiny bit. A fair amount of why some of these things are working is the force is going more or less straight into them, so they don't blow up, not because they're all that strong, because they're not. They're thin, and that's near the cortex. But the force was just straight along the plane of that flake, and I had support on it, and I've gotten good enough at doing the support in a way where I'm not letting it come out or anything, but I'm also not redirecting it. I'm not putting pressure on it or anything beyond what's needed to keep it from rolling out and breaking. That one. I mean, you saw that. It was oblique and down, and it ran down to here. I mean, it just... And this is not... It's not bad flint at all, but on the other hand, you can see it's raw flint, and it's got impurities in it. It's not pure silicon. It's got some tearing there and chattering on it and stuff. It's not ultra grade flint or anything by any stretch. Yeah, so about heating rock. Just leave it on your dash if you live in my area. It hadn't rained here hardly at all since I don't know when. Ran it all the way down. I was pulling that one a little bit, and just a little skimmer ran all the way down there and got part of that hinging. A fair amount of the hinging, actually, but not enough. But I'm almost of the opinion I could probably lose half an inch or whatever, and then lose, width, and beat this and actually get a point out of it. It's still somewhat challenging, depending upon, it's always a matter of tools and techniques and support and skill level. I can't hit this very hard because it's not high enough for me to get on it and get under any of that. So I really need to attack this diamond. But I need to raise that up so I can hit hard, because I need to lower this a bunch. It's just not working. Now see, I'm holding this back here, and I'm hitting straight downward, but I've got it supported well, so I'm raising the edge without putting those snapping in-snap kind of things on it. I don't have a good ridge to come there at all. This is rolled a little bit, and I don't like it. So that solved a lot of that problem. And I wish that there was an easy way for me to explain what I did there, but you see this area was kind of high. Well, I knew I didn't have any ridge, so it's going to fan out. So I had the high area supported with pressure, and again, I've just done it an awful lot, and I just knew exactly, what angle to hit to get in on that plane, that same plane, which dramatically increases the safety of the strike, but it also increases the thinning nature of it and, how it worked. That was a dangerous hit. But again, that broke. That failed, because I'm over here near the cortex, and you can see that whitish area there. It failed right there and kicked up, and it created a secondary one that kicked up also. Dang, be back.